Hello everybody, welcome to Wine World TV, the best wine show anywhere. I'm your host, Mark Fusco. Before we get started, make sure you're smashing that like button and subscribing to the channel. Every like and subscription helps build the channel even better. Spread the word to your friends about the best wine show anywhere. All right, for today's show, we are reaching back into my backlog bag of wines just to get this out of the way. This is a free sample. I have free reign to review it however I wish. Okay, we're heading to Patagonia. Now, Patagonia has a few different meanings. First of all, it's a large region in Argentina and Chile. And within those two countries, there are a few different ways it's mapped out. It's also a brand of a large clothing company based in California. When it comes to wine, it's a relatively ignored region in both countries. Also, many of us consider Patagonia as a cool climate area. Well, as you can see, what are essentially the official boundaries encompass a very large area. The northern, which is where the winery is, has a more moderate climate. The winery states that the area that they are in has hot summers, but it definitely cools down at night. Hot in this case means an average temperature around 88 degrees Fahrenheit in January. It's hottest month. Average lows are in the mid-60s, so not necessarily a huge diurnal shift during the hottest month. By comparison, here in San Antonio, our average high in July and August is 95 degrees Fahrenheit. May's average is 87 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's a pretty comfortable climate, honestly. And we have higher overall humidity. With that said, the back label describes the region as continental cool climate. However, the Köppen climate classification is BWK, or dry, arid, desert, cold. Close enough, I guess. It's not Burgundy by any means, but it's also not too hot for Pinot, as far as I know. One of the things that they also mention is the wind. Argentina as a whole gets a lot of wind, especially as you get closer to the Andes. These can be pretty intense, and because of that, along with the lack of rainfall and dry conditions, grapes will tend to have thicker skins and provide greater natural protection. Skins are where we get color and structure for wine. Maybe I should remember that for the prior episode with the other Pinot. Combine that with the overall diurnal shift, you can get good balance between acid and sugar in the grapes. Like I said, it doesn't get super hot, so photosynthesis never really stops, but then you get cool enough for the grapes to, quote, rest. Lastly, soils in the area are sandy, stony, and calcareous. This means that they are well drained, so vines will have to go deep to find the water table. With that said, they use drip irrigation to make sure the vines get enough water. As far as the wine itself, there really isn't any additional info other than what's on the purchase page and the back label. So let's just get the stats for this wine. The 2022 Secreto Patagónico Rebel Pinot Noir. Suggested retail price $12.95. From Argentina, from Patagonia, 100% Pinot Noir, gravity-fed, cold maceration, fermented in concrete, manual pigeage or punch down, ABV is 13%. Let's get into the wine. All right, so last episode with this Pinot. Remember, it was like super dark and all that, and I was like, Pinot should be light. Maybe the skins are kind of thick on this. I don't know. We're about to find out. I mean, I'm always excited to try Pinots from other parts of the world. Pinot's not my favorite grape. Chardonnay is my favorite grape, but I like to try these things because you never know what you might find. All right, already, I can tell you, this is like normal Pinot. It's like translucent. It's also a little bit orange. This is what vintage is this? 21. Okay. So, so I'm doing, oh, wow. Let's, I'll be back. Got a little bit of wine on the on the laptop here, so I just want to kind of soak that up. Anyway, yeah, the wine is much more like what it should be color-wise, though, like I said, it is a little orange. And while that's fine for 4 years old, we'll see. Yeah. Yeah, it's more of a red-orange color. Whoa, all right. More of a red-orange color. Pretty translucent, so what I expect. If I was looking at this wine, and I didn't know what it was, I didn't see it, I would kind of throw this into like the Italian type of thing. Like it might be like a Nebbiolo based wine, or Nebbiolo could even be, well, Sangiovese is usually going to be a little bit darker. Same with Tempranillo. But yeah. So we'll see. This might have, maybe that's just the wine style. Maybe that's what's going to come out to be. It's just going to be a little more orange or oxidized. About to find out. Smells fine so far. I mean, I think maybe because I just have this idea of orange, I kind of get this orange Grand Marnier type of thing going on here, along with cherry, like brighter ripe cherry, even a touch of plum. Not quite prune, so not oxidized, but more of like a plum thing. A touch of earth, but not a lot. Not really. Like I wouldn't be going down the earth, the footpath through the woods with this wine, at least not in the nose. And a bit of raspberry, like a raspberry candy shell. All right, let's check it out. It's got raspberry and cherry kind of thing going on, almost a cherry liqueur. It tastes good. It's a little different than I was expecting. It's got a bit of bramble, a little forest floor to it, a little bit, kind of some spice. It's not that it's like necessarily oak spices, oak barrel spices. It's fermented in concrete, so yeah, I mean, there's not any oak. It's pretty pure. That's really the best way to put it. It's more of a pure expression of wine. Yeah. I mean, any spice component is probably just the grape coming through. And the earthiness is really starting to come through a little bit more. Honestly, if I didn't know any better, and I probably don't, I mean, gravity fed, I mean, it's pretty basic. They don't really go into it. I wouldn't be surprised if this is pretty much, they bring in the grapes, they crush them, macerate them, maybe have native fermentation. It's growing on me, by the way. And they just kind of let it go. Like, like, hey, let's see what happens. I kind of feel like I'm not necessarily natty wine, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're at least the winemaking side of things is more in a low interventionist style. I would not be surprised. Now, would I identify this as Pinot Noir in a blind? Maybe. Because there's a bitterness that happens with Pinot Noir that I don't really get for the other grapes. So I'd probably put it that. I mean, because like this cherry almost, you know what it is? It's the stems. I feel like there's some stems in here. It doesn't say anything about that, does it? It just says pigeage. I mean, it doesn't say this whole cluster or anything like that, But there's a like a bitterness, like you might have like the grape stems in here. It's pretty good, especially like $13. That's fine. It's pretty. It's a. I don't want to use the word simple per se, but it's straightforward. It's a straightforward Pinot Noir that it kind of doesn't taste like. But in some ways, now that it's really kind of opening up a little more, it kind of reminds me of some like Monterey Pinot Noirs are kind of in this price level. Nothing complicated. Just really basic, simple. I mean, in a good way. I'm kind of digging this wine, honestly. I think it just needs some more time. I think my palate needs to be reset from what I had before. It's actually pretty good. I like it. I like it now. Wow. All right. Rebel Pinot Noir. Secreto. Yeah, I mean, is there anything I missed back here? No, it says so the back of it says boutique family owned. And I'll go with that. Like I said, it sounds, just from tasting the wine and having other low interventionist wines or natural wines or whatever, I kind of feel like that's what they're going for. And I think it works. If I'm wrong, fine. I think the wine's pretty good too. At $13, I'd say get it. Yeah. That's going to do it for today's show. If you enjoy what I'm doing here, make sure you hit the like button and tell your friends, and we'll see you next time.